Alright, so how's it going, everyone? Today we have a pretty big announcement for Fortnite. As you already know, all of the Battle Pass challenges have already come out today, as they came out this morning, Thursday morning. And we also have a couple of other things that are a little more important that I want to go over as well. So, in general, building has been buffed slightly, and SMGs have been nerfed. And we're going to get into that right away. So, Epic Games actually released this statement. We've seen various discussions about SMGs, building material changes, and general weapon versus structure interaction. We agree that weapons should have a unique purpose, and that building should feel great as well as show off your tactical skills in the heat of battle. Your feedback in combination with internal testing has shown that previous changes in these areas were not achieving the goals we had set out for. The new changes are aimed at allowing for strengths and weaknesses between the SMGs, shotguns, and structures during close-range combat. So the first changes they made were to the SMGs. So basically what they did is they made the SMGs a little bit weaker, and they decreased the spawn rate of some of them, and they also decreased the damage they have over range. So first off, the compact SMG got nerfed once again. They reduced the damage from 22 to 21 on the legendary, and from 21 to 20 on the epic. And then they reduced the clip size on both of them from 50 to 40. So that's actually a pretty significant nerf for this gun. The crazy thing about this gun is that you could seamlessly shoot it forever, and you never seem to run out of ammo in that first clip. So I think you're definitely going to notice a difference between 50 and 40. It's going to be a little bit more on the level of almost just a regular SMG at this point. I mean, obviously it has 10 more rounds, but it's going to have maybe a little bit similar of a feel. Maybe you can't shoot it as just constantly, because whenever I use this gun, like, if I'm fighting someone, I just feel like I never have to reload it. By the time, like, the fight's over, I'll have, like, 15 bullets left in it still. So I think this is definitely going to give it a little bit different of a feel. You're going to have to use it a little bit more wisely now. Also, the reduced damage, I think that's an okay nerf. When it had 21 and 22 damage on the epic and legendaries, it still melted pretty good. Obviously, it wasn't as crazy as when it first came out, and it was like, what, 24 and 25 damage? So it's been significantly nerfed since coming out. It's pretty ridiculous that Epic Games allows for extremely broken guns to be put into the game in the first place, but we're going to see how this compact SMG turns out. Whether it's going to be too much or too little, we'll find out. And then the biggest nerf is going to be to the drum gun, and for this one, I'm honestly quite surprised. When the drum gun initially came out, I thought it was one of the more balanced weapons that they had ever released into the game. I didn't really think that there was a need to nerf it or buff it, because I thought it was actually, pretty well balanced. But they are going to be nerfing it a little bit. I guess the community wasn't that fond of it, but honestly, I don't even use it a whole lot. So they reduced the fall-off range from damage to 80% to 70% at 3,500 units. This gun already was kind of hard to use at range because it had a lot of recoil. So now it's going to be a little bit less effective because it's going to have less damage at range. They also reduced the fall-off damage from 65 to 55 at 5,500 units as well. They also added environmental damage fall-off, matching player damage fall-off. I really don't know what that even means, to be quite honest with you. That sounds like it has to do with fall damage with a character, but it's a nerf with the drum gun, so I imagine that it has something to do with the drum gun, but I quite honestly don't know what that even means. They also decreased jumping accuracy by 5%, so whenever you're going to be jumping with the drum gun now, it's going to be less likely that you're going to hit your shots. They also decreased targeting accuracy by 10%. So I think just in general, this gun's going to have a little bit more recoil, which again, I don't know if I'm exactly a fan of, because I thought this gun already had a little bit too much recoil. I mean, I think it was actually well balanced in the recoil department. It's kind of hard to use at range, I would say, but now it's going to be even more difficult. And they also reduced the spawn rate in the chests and floor loot by 40%, which is actually really significant for this gun. Granted, this is one of the guns that you probably see most often in Fortnite. I never really thought it was a big deal that I saw it a whole lot, because I didn't really ever use it. But now they're decreasing it by 40%, which seems like it's going to be a pretty big fall off now. So this gun might become extremely rare, or maybe 40% isn't going to be that big of a deal. But I don't know, that seems like a pretty big decrease for a gun that I really didn't think needed to be nerfed this much. But at least they didn't nerf the damage on this gun, because I thought the gun's damage was actually pretty well balanced from the beginning. So hopefully this is the last and final nerf when it comes to the drum gun, and hopefully the compact SMG is also well balanced now. So the final change they made is to building. So they increased the initial wall health values based on the material type that they are. So if you're using wood, brick, or metal, you're actually going to feel that they're a little bit more stronger when you initially place them, because initially they all had just 80 HP when placed. So people would usually just place wood because, you know, you can find wood a lot more often, and if people are going to be shooting out anyways, it doesn't really matter. You don't want to waste your metal if people are just shooting it out constantly. So what they did is that they increased the wall health on the initial placements. So the wood wall health is now increased from 80 HP to 90 HP. Stone is increased from 80 to 100 HP. And metal is increased from 80 to 110. And quite honestly, this just makes a lot of sense. It really made no sense that when you placed metal, it would have the exact same strength as when you initially placed wood, because the whole point of metal is that it would be stronger. And it quite honestly made people not want to use metal and stone when doing build battles because they are just as strong as wood. So now you're going to have a little bit more of an advantage if you're using stone or metal in a fight. It's not going to be a crazy amount because they're only, you know, a 10 HP difference now, but I think it's a step in the right direction. So anyways, that is all the nerfs and the buffs that they did for today. I think the building is definitely in the right direction. And the SMG ones, we're going to see how they work out. The compact SMG one just kind of made sense because that gun is still a little bit overpowered. And then the drum gun, not a huge fan of, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if you hated the drum gun and are going to be a little bit happier now that it's nerfed. And let me know what you think about the P90 nerf and the building changes. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not done so already. Anyways, I'm out.